Hey, welcome to On the Peg with me, your host, the one, the only, Mad Montreal Man. And today's show is in honor of Mac. Mac passed away last year on March 22nd, 2023. So this show is dedicated to his memory. And if you don't know who Mac is, that's fine. Mac meant a lot to me. So he's been gone for a year, and I still feel it today. So keeping with the theme of sort of like fatalities and, how living things are moral, we're going to be doing a couple of things today. I'm still sick. I'm still unemployed. But I promised you guys a show, so we're doing a show today anyway. And keeping in mind the whole concept of mortality, well, we're going to do a Mortal Kombat today. That's one thing we're going to do today. We're also going to be looking at Frankenstein, who comes back from the dead. And we have two other DCs we're doing. And we still have that Marvel 2-pack I promised to open up today. So what do you say? We just get the show started. Get it over with. Let's take a look at, Kotal Khan. Yeah, Kotal Khan from Mortal Kombat. Shall you? Let's take him out of the package. Take a look at him. And let's see what I think of this addition to my Mortal Kombat series. Don't know when did I start collecting these? I don't know. It just happens. Being a toyaholic. When you're depressed, you buy toys. We'll be back soon. Well, there you have him, Kotal Khan, out of the package. Now, I will admit, I like the details. The details are really nice. I like how it's not culture inappropriate. It is a pretty cool looking action figure. Or is it? Now, I'm not lying when I say I like the details. I don't think it's culturally inappropriate. As an action figure goes, well, if you were to give this to a kid and the kid was going to play with it, couple things. That sword is so hard to get into that hand. I broke a fingernail. I broke a nail. Oh my God. And the other thing is the hair, the wonderful headdress. You'd almost have to glue it in if you're going to give it to a kid to play with, because as soon as you move it, it has a tendency of popping out. All that said, though, those two little negatives aside, I like them. I haven't played Mortal Kombat in a long time, so I can't quite place this character. I really can't. The base, of course, is one of those typical usual bases that, kind of sucks, but, because he's not too heavy, it holds him. This is what I do recommend. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, pick him up. Eventually, when I have shells, I need more shells. And I'm not joking. I'm going to show you at the end of the credits, I'm going to show you the pile of Marvel Legends that I have. Oh yeah, I have some. But no, when I eventually do have a shelf, I will make a sort of like Spawn / Mortal Kombat shelf, and this will be front of the shelf, because he is well detailed. He's cool. I love the detail on the sword. If only the sword was a little straight, but that's something I can probably fix with a bit of heat and a bit of like patience. But no, this is one of those characters where, you know what? He would fit in with the DC multiverse. He is well detailed. He is kind of cool. I love the details in him. And like I said, I don't regret him. And by the way, I didn't buy it this week. I know I made a comment that when you're depressed, you buy toys. When am I not depressed? I'm a manic depressive. I've been depressed since I was 3. I got him last year. Seriously, tossed them on the House of Madness bookshelf and just kind of like, I'll get to them eventually. I got to them today. So that's it for a Kotal Khan. Let's put them off to the side. Now, I'm going to get to the big guy next because why not? I used to love the Creature Commandos, and I just had to get Frankenstein. And I picked him up. Oh yeah, go back. Kotal Khan I picked up at the comic book shop. Haven't plugged him in a while, but then again, I haven't been there since like last year. But Frankenstein here, thanks to my buddies at GameStop, I picked him up when he was on sale and at my discount. So it's not too bad. So what do you say we get good old Frankenstein out of the package, and we'll take a quick look at him too. Well, there you have him out of the package, and you can tell how big he is. I mean, he is a larger size DC Multiverse, but I have to admit, I like him. I like him. It'd be nice if they had all of the Creature Commandos, but not the ones that are coming from the animation. I'm talking about the ones that originally appeared in, GI Combat, Weird War Tales. This is more of the more recent Frankenstein that you saw in the comic books. But I'd rather go back to the older ones because I do prefer... I used to read a lot of those old, Sergeant Rock, Our Army at War, Men at War comic books, and Weird War Tales. Because to me, those World War II comics that DC did were fantastic. But Frankenstein, I definitely think if you want to make a Justice League dark, add him into it. He would go great with the Swamp Thing. I would say you put him in the back because he is so big. You put him in the front, you won't see any characters standing behind him. He's definitely well worth picking up. He's posable. He is a bit stiff. This is a joke. I mean, really, he stands on his own weight basically. But no, that's Frankenstein. I really am happy I got Frankenstein. I also like the fact that they actually were smart enough to include in the back jacket a spot for a sword if you don't have him holding it, which is really nice. This is what I recommend. And if my voice is going, well, I'm dying. What do you expect? Okay, so let's put Frankie up to the side somewhere. There, he's in the stream. So I'm not sure what we should do next. Should we do the other two? No. Let's do the 2-pack. Get it out of the way. Oh, and by the way, I was going through my stuff. I did find what the original Marvel universes were called. By the way, they were called Marvel Showdown. This is when Marvel started doing these small figures that had these little bases, cards, and rules. That's where they came from. This basically led into the Marvel Universe. I started buying these because I thought, hey, they're cool, and this led into Marvel Universe. At the same time, Marvel Legends were going, but let's take these guys out. I know you've seen a small Juggernaut before, and a small Colossus before, but unlike the other Juggernaut that I showed once a long time ago, this one doesn't have the helmet on. The other one I showed you, the helmet was built in, and the sculpt on the Colossus is a bit different. So we're going to take him out of the package, and just to show you that, I am insane, mint in package, Blade. It's happening! We'll be back in a minute. There's going to be bloopers today, folks. Okay, Just saying, watch the end of the credits. There can be bloopers. But if you want to rewind and put them on the turntable, as soon as I put them on the turntable thing, they started falling down. But here they are out of the package. Now, I know you're thinking, but you showed a small Colossus before, you showed a Juggernaut before. But let me show you why they're different. Okay, we'll start off with Colossus. This is the Colossus that came out of the 2-pack. Very flat, gray, kind of a boring expression. This was the one that was in the Marvel Showdowns. Yeah. Big difference, huh? The Showdown ones, much better. Because joint-wise, it's got more articulation. It's got better color. So yeah, and you know, the same size basically, but I think this is one time that the older one is better than the newest one. Not that they make these anymore. And as for Juggernaut, well, here's the Juggernaut I showed you once before. Helmet, this doesn't come off. And basically they made a slightly more colorful helmetless Juggernaut. Now, once again, I will say, if you do see the Marvel Universes, or if you actually ever do find a Showdown pack, I'd say pick them up. They are kind of fun to collect. They are kind of like, you know, easy to put on a shelf. And they're a better price point than Marvel Legends. Let's be honest. And I will be showing you how many Marvel Legends I have, somewhat. I need shelves, but until I get working again, can't afford shelves. But this is here you go. The originals. And if you're wondering where the la 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 comes from, I was watching Red Green today, okay? Quando omni fluncus moritati, all right? And for some odd reason, when you hear Harold laughing or making a sarcastic noise 5 times in like one afternoon, you just can't help but do it. Now, the 2-pack also came with a comic book. And I say it's not for resale. It's X-Men 102, which is kind of fun. Because it's one of the classic old, you know, X-Men storylines. So the comic book isn't that bad. I mean, it's an old comic book reprinted with a very flimsy, glossy paper. But that's it for the wonderful Juggernaut Colossus compare. See, I can pick them up in my hands. So, all right. Next, I figure, well, let's do it because we are sort of on a dark path today, I guess. You know, like I said, this is dedicated to Mac. Mac was part of my family. Mac is gone. I've only got Jack and Duke left, so it's kind of, you know, it just hits you, especially when Facebook goes, this time last year, here's a memory. And it's the memory of you having to put your cat to sleep. Yeah, that kind of sucks. Ruins the day. But I promise you guys a show, and I'm going to give you a show. I may not be in my usual, you know, Mad Montreal Man character mode. Can't always put that, you know, that wonderful facade on, but I'm still doing the show. And sticking with that, I got a gold label. So the one I got, I pre-ordered this one a while ago. Picked it up when it came in. And I'm kind of happy I have it. Green Lantern versus vampires. I know, whole vampire theme going lately, and, you know, but why not? Let's take him out of the package and see what I think of good old Al Jordan as a vampire. So there you have him out of the package, and I have a few mixed feelings about him. Now, for one thing, I really do like the detail in the chest, the abdomen, the gloves. The detail on the costume is fantastic. I love it. I even like how they did the green flames on the hand, the shoulders, and even the hair. I'm not too crazy about the open mouth. It's like not all vampires walk around going, ah! You know, they might walk around going, ha. Just the mouth's a bit much. I would like to have this Green Lantern body used for regular Green Lantern. It's cool. Now, one thing that did catch me off guard a bit was this. It's a soft rubber torso. Yeah, it threw me off a little bit. It just kind of like, normally you expect the hard plastic. It's still segmented, so you can still twist them around and stuff, but it threw me off a little bit. But I do like them. And on the sort of deceased vampire section of the shelf, he's front of the shelf. That definitely. And I run out of room on my other desk. I need more shelves. So I'm just putting them off to the side here. I'll put them down here. All right, and keeping with the Green Lantern theme, sort of. It's not really a Green Lantern, but he was once. Now he's not. I'm doing the McFarlane Collector's Edition Sinestro, and this is the regular version. I know there's a variant for this, and one of my buddies suggested that what he does is he puts a wish list up for stuff he wants, because there's a variant for this one where he's wearing green with the Sinestro symbol coming out. The Hawk one has a 0 hour variant. Superman and Krypto have a green kryptonite variant. There's a Captain Carrot variant as well, different colors. There's even I picked up the Catwoman a long time ago, and she's purple. And I swore that there was a variant gray one. Yeah, there's a gray Catwoman out there as well. The Batman variant, I would love to have it. I'm not insane enough to pay $100 for it, because it's Batman as Green Lantern, but he's all green energy. Really cool. And he was suggesting to make a wish list, because what he does, he made a wish list on McFarlane Toys to get stuff that he wants. He did the same thing on Amazon, and I have an Amazon account, Amazon.ca, under my name, not Mad Montreal Man, and I went, it's not a bad idea. I kind of get it. I don't have a McFarlane account, because the few times I tried to get some from McFarlane, like all the Flashpoint, Wonder Woman's, and other Flashpoint DC Multiverse, I was told, oh, they're Target exclusive. You have to get them at Target or be in the States. They wouldn't ship to Canada. Frustrating. But then again, the same thing happened with Deadman. Some things I ordered got canceled, like my Wonder Woman. I ordered Wonder Woman. Both of them, the variant, got canceled. So it's a bit frustrating. So maybe it's something I will do. I might do a wish list on Amazon.ca, or I might make a McFarlane account as well to make a wish list. And the reason why he did it was it made sense, because people are always asking him what to get him. What can I get you for your birthday? And when people ask me that, I normally say, don't worry about it. Apart from me joking, well, I'm not really joking. I do need shelves and a job and a social life. But my daughters always ask me, what can we get you? What do you want for Father's Day? What do you want for your birthday? What do you want for Christmas? And I'm always one of those guys who says, don't worry about it, nothing. Because I can't spur of the moment think of something I want. So it's not a bad idea. I see why he does it. Like, I can see why he does it. And what he does, he makes a wish list on those different sites he goes to. And this way, when a special day comes around or someone wants to get him something, they go to that place, they get it for him, and once he gets it, he takes it off his list. Not a bad idea. If I do it, I'll get you guys to know. And I'm sorry, this isn't a rant. It's more like a commentary, an observation I made, and something I'm thinking about doing, because there's a lot of things I can't get here. And I figured, why not? Why not try? But getting back to Sinestro, the regular, not the variant, because I don't have the variant, let's take him out of the package, and we'll be back shortly. Well, to begin with, I'm sorry about some of the camera footage today. I'm having a lighting problem. It's just one of those days. It's Murphy's Law day today. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong today. But, so, sorry about the lighting, and not the best thing. I'm not even sure if I'm going to keep on using the round table, because it does make a noise. And maybe down the road I'll use it. I might go back to just doing what I normally do with the figurines. So, that's it. I'm going to take them off the spinny. Ow! I hit my hand again. Ongoing theme lately. Okay, especially this week. But there you have them out of the package. Now, the lantern battery is nice, but to get it into his hand any other way, you have to almost break the finger. It's not going to do it. I do like the fact that the green energy effect is not what you normally get. It's actually a bunch of claws coming at you. The face sculpt is really nice. I love the extra detail they did in the upper armor, the yellow part of the armor. It's all, it's textured. It's really nice. This is definitely a Sinestro that would go on the second row of the shelf because, Green Lantern comes first. But yeah, that's definitely one I would definitely recommend picking up. And like I said, if you do see the variants, pick them up because the variants are getting hard to get now. I mean, for a while I was getting some variants, but now it's so hard to get variants nowadays. It really is. I'm having an easier time getting stuff like the Mr. Freeze, that Platinum Edition collector's one than some of these variants. But I digress. I don't want to go on a rant. But I know you're thinking, hey, we're going to wrap up the show, right? No, we're not. Now, I'm going to cut away for a second because I need to get what I'm going to do next. But just stay tuned. I think you're going to like this next little bit. I hope you do. I do. If you don't. And like I said, there'll be bloopers at the end of the show because I'm tongue-tied today. My throat is burning. I feel like I haven't slept, but I've been oversleeping instead. Yeah, I feel like death. Back in a minute. Well, as you can see, we're back. It was a short little edit there, but I had to get this because now we're going to the vintage corner, and we're going to start off with what I think, at the time it was the greatest action figure you could ever get. I still think it's hard to top this. It's really hard. There's one exception I found that's better than this. This beats all the McFarlanes, all the Marvel Legends. This to me was the ultimate action figure. They don't make them anymore. They don't. But I'm talking about G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip. That's right. When I was a kid, G.I. Joe came out, this way still in package, with the Kung Fu grip. This is not an original. This was a reproduction they did. But the fact that he had a Kung Fu grip. Now, the reproduction isn't as well detailed. It's got the head with the scar, but the hands weren't as same. They made the hands a bit thicker of plastic, but the original G.I. Joe with Kung Fu grip was fantastic. It was also the Big Jims as well, which I don't have any left of. But up until that point, this was the ultimate action figure. The original G.I. Joes with Kung Fu grip. Now, I know they've done G.I. Joes since then. Oh, I have another vintage one here, by the way. This one has seen better days. It's the Atomic Mike G.I. Joe, but he's seen much better days. Like, Busted Hand, for example. Now, there's been some other action figures over the years. I'm just reaching down, grabbing stuff. Well, you can't see what I'm grabbing, but neither can I. I'm just putting them up because I have them in an order, but of course, the order got screwed up. Oh yeah, as for Marvel Legends, the big ones, I did have the Wolverine one. The problem with the Wolverine one, man, he's very poseable, but the claws were crap and they broke. So now he's just a really angry type of G.I. Joe kind of guy. But no, and if you're in England at the time, G.I. Joe was called Action Man. Now, I remember years ago, it's still a vintage toy nowadays, but they re-released Action Man in Canada. Action Man! Action Man basically was a younger looking sort of Joe, had the scar. You have to have the scar. So you have to have the scar. You have the Action Man scar. Now, Action Man came with so many different, you had Action Man in space, Action Man as a soldier. They basically made Action Man almost a multi-purpose, kind of like G.I. Joe was. Because I know originally when G.I. Joe came out, it wasn't popular in the States, and it was popular in the States, popular in Canada. But in the UK, G.I. Joe, real American hero kind of thing, was kind of like, Oh, we're talking the 12-inch dolls, action figures. So in England, the UK, they renamed G.I. Joe Action Man. So Action Man came out years and years ago. Hard plastic, kind of a kung fu grip. Just saying, not a bad replacement for G.I. Joe. And I've got an Action Man collection, which I might feature one of these days. Now, apart from Action Man, they did also remake G.I. Joes. See, they did remake G.I. Joes. And they still occasionally do these G.I. Joes. The only thing is, they're not as much fun. They're more like, if you're a military guy, you buy these, put them on your shelf. Because they're built differently. Some of them have this bendable arm, some don't. They're really not as posable as some of the, older G.I. Joes. Like, for example, and they didn't have the same kind of appeal. And they also made the scar. Scar is really barely noticeable. So these G.I. Joes weren't as good as the originals. Just saying. I have a few. Because I figured it's G.I. Joe, I want G.I. Joes. Toyholic. Now, apart from that, there was another action line that came out, and I have a collection of these. I have these because at the time my daughters were collecting Barbies, and they thought Ken was a joke. Let's be honest, Ken is the worst action figure. But they came out with Max Steel. Now, Max Steel was kind of like Action Man. A whole variety of different stuff you can do with him. He is posable. Not quite as good as G.I. Joe. But there was one thing about Max Steel I thought was funny. Number one, his feet. Let me just show you here. For an action figure, he's got the smallest feet ever. So you would never put Max Steel, for example, barefoot. You always have to have a pair of shoes on him because even barefoot he didn't stand. Shoes made him stand. And he came with a whole bunch of accessories. This is the mountain climbing Max Steel. Also the head was a bit big. But Max Steel was one of those things where I also have a collection of them. I'll do a special on that one of these days. Not bad. They did ruin Max Steel when they relaunched it with the smaller toys. Wasn't as good. Now, in Canada, there was also... Oh, Max Steel had villains. He had a villain snake guy. He had a guy who had a robot arm and his face could come off. Not the most original villain in the world. But there was also another line that came out in Canada. I'm not sure if anywhere else it came out. It might have been out in the UK as well. This line wasn't as bad. It was better proportioned than Max Steel, and it was also more posable than the release of the bigger G.I. Joes. Ultra Force. Now, Ultra Force came out, same thing. Pretty much, you name it, they did an Ultra Force character, military, police, ambulance, fire, space. They did them. And I got a collection of these as well, because these were affordable. When these came out, they were affordable. Now Ultra Force is the small G.I. Joe size, like the small 3-inch G.I. Joe size. But these were full-size Ultra Force figures. I haven't seen any in years, but I just figure, if you're into the big action figures, these were pretty cool. There was even an Ultra Force character that was, like, super big. I have a few of those because I was going to always turn them into, like, Giant Man or a Colossus. Haven't gotten around to it one of these days. But there's also one other line. Let me just put these guys back in the box because I got so many things in the box, it's not funny. I have boxes and boxes of toys. And no shelves. Just ran out of shelves. That's why my Cops are in a PBX in a box. My Marvel Legends, apart from some on a shelf which fell over, I don't have any kicking around. But, vintage Atomic Mike. But there was also this other line I picked up. I've never seen these since. The heads were a bit big, but they actually came in a 2-pack. Yeah, it was a 2-pack, male and female. She is extremely posable, so was he. They had sort of dog tags. I can't remember what company these were. They weren't G.I. Joe. They weren't Ultra Force, but they were actually fairly decent. I picked them up because I figured, hey, why not put them on the shelf? Mix them up a bit. That plus the fact, these were so cheap. Oh, they came with a whole bunch of accessories, and the cost of the pair in that double pack was the same as buying one Marvel Legend at the time. Yeah, go figure. But I did say, that this to me was the original G.I. Joe the Kung Fu Grip was the ultimate action figure. There's one exception. I picked this up years ago, so it is still a vintage toy. It's a Marvel. It's bigger. It's about 20 inches tall. It is probably the most articulated Spider-Man you will ever see. The fingers all have joints that move. Seriously. This thing, it was expensive. I remember it was expensive. I only bought the one. It also sold out pretty fast. But it, as an action figure, it is so poseable. The fact that you can open and close the fingers, it is just super articulated. It's the only exception to that. I wish they did more figures like this. I know in Japan you can get stuff like this sometimes, but this thing was so great. It is super stiff to move, so it's kind of one of those things where you would put on your desk and use as a reference, which is what I used it for back when I was teaching myself how to draw better. I still can't draw great. Now, this thing is something, if you ever see them and you want to learn how to draw, pick it up. This is the most articulated action figure I have ever seen. Yeah, there's a few problems with it. It is very stiff, but as action figures go, this was the king. This thing, it's a good heavyweight. You can see how big it is. It's big, but it is so detailed. It is extremely detailed. It's got, like I said, I think it has 80 points of articulation, something like that. It is so good to move, especially when you want to, how would I draw that? You can actually take something like this and really pose it and get a good feel for it. And that's pretty much it for today's show. Yeah, pretty much it. And yeah, he was on the shelf. The reason why my Marvel Legends that on the shelf fell is I took him off the shelf and the weight just went whoop. He's heavy. But that's it for the show today. Once more, let me know in your comments. Is there anything you don't like? Like, for example, are you sick and tired of the bad camera work with the revolving table? I'll go back to doing what I was doing before, where I just basically, zoomed in and out with, the stick. You didn't see the spinny stuff. Let me know in the comments what action figures you want to see. I will let you guys know if I do a wish list anywhere and so forth. But we still have stuff to go through. Oh, yeah. We have, wow, there's a lot of Batman stuff. Because let's be honest, it's McFarlane, there's Batman. There's Jim Gordon as Batman. Not the variant, because there's a variant for that one too. I have a Batman from the movie. I've got Catwoman. I've got Batman Hush. The Todd McFarlane designed Batman. A whole bunch of negative Earth Batmans. I've also got some Supermans to look at. Wonder Woman. A couple of rare ones as well. We still have toys to do. But next week, I will try not to be so DC focused. I might even do a Marvel Legend still in package next week. Yeah. Not the minis. I'm talking about a full-size one. I have a Deadpool downstairs that's mint in package with the Ploop character. I'm almost tempted to take him out just because it would drive so many of those mint in package people crazy. So I'm tempted to do it. I don't know. Let me know what you think. And as usual, please hit the like. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Get words out there. And if there's anything you want to talk about on the show, let me know. For example, if you have a comic book store that you want to recommend, let me know. I'll put in the end credits because that's what I'm doing nowadays. Apart from a couple of plugs every now and then, like, I did today. I normally put the stores I recommend now in the credits because, why not? It's just little, actually it's more editing, but not that anyone cares. And as for my other channel, I know if you are subscribed to this channel, you might be subscribed to the other channel as well. I've sort of put the Montreal Man show on hiatus. Number one is I've not been feeling well. I've really been under the weather. And I'm also changing the format because I realized nobody wants to watch an hour-long show of me just basically ranting. No. So I'm working on making that a bit better. As for the shorts, they will be coming back. You will be seeing the boys again. Leroy Jr.'s got toys. Peter's got a toy to do. Dr. Cool's got some more Hot Wheels and some other stuff to do. They will be coming back on the other channel. There's, Lowry and Leeway have stuff coming as well. It's just that with me being under the weather, kind of can't do the voice actor bit lately. Because the last time I did those voices was when I did that little I'm a voice actor and did that little stint. And since then my throat has just been so. And no one's hired me, by the way. No one's given me a job as a voice actor. So if you know any casting directors for animation and so forth, hire me. I do voices. I can be many different types of characters. But yeah, I'm losing it. But from the bottom of my heart, broken and scarred as it may be, thank you so much for watching the show and liking it. From the deep, dark, depressive recesses of my darkened soul, once more, I really appreciate you guys watching the show. It gives me something to look forward to every week now, doing this for you guys. And as always, I hope you got a laugh at it today, either at my expense, like me banging my hand, or the bloopers, or just laugh with me at me banging my hand and making bloopers. It's sad, I know. But we'll see you next week. Let me know if there's any ideas you want to see next week. What are you looking forward to? Might not be as long as today's show. I didn't realize today's show was going to go this long, but I really want to talk about, the vintage corner. And we'll see you next week then. And hopefully things will get better for you. And as always, as long as you can, stay healthy, stay happy, and if you got toys, you're off to a good start. We'll see you then. Those people who say I'm only a DC guy, I do have Marvel Legends. That PBX is full of Marvel Legends. I still have that in a box, and I have 4 boxes of Marvel Legends. They are full. They're not as organized as they were before because the boxes fell, but there you go. We have a lot of Marvel Legends, so I'm not joking when I say I need shelves. Because imagine if I had proper display cases, all these Marvel Legends would be on display, not just the ones that were on the shelf that fell down. So we'll see you next week. Well, someone just shoot me, put me out of my misery. God. Okay. I'm hypnotized by the rotating bass. And I know you thought I put them on the turntable, but they don't stand on the turntable. If I'm not dying or having a stroke, I'm just fucking losing it. God, 4 months not working. Brain rotting. I wasn't recording. Okay, that sucked. Murphy's Law Day. Definitely.